First things first, darlings, you need to know if you're eligible for this visa. It's a bit like trying to get into an exclusive nightclub. You need to be on the list. So, what makes you the life of the NHS party? Well, you'll need a job offer from an approved UK employer. Think of it as your golden ticket into the chocolate factory of British healthcare. And not just any job will do, Poppet. Your job must be on the list of eligible occupations, which thankfully is longer than one of my opening monologues. Of course, you'll need to meet the minimum salary requirement because even national treasures need to pay the rent. And just a smidge more important, you'll need to prove your English proficiency. Don't worry, love, no one's expecting you to recite Shakespeare, just enough to understand what a patient means when they say they've come over a bit peculiar. Finally, you'll need a certificate of sponsorship from your employer. This is basically your employer saying, "We want you. We need you. Please come and work for us." It's very flattering, really. Now, onto the application process itself. Don't worry, it's not as terrifying as facing down Mary Berry on Bake Off. It's all done online, which is a relief because who sends letters anymore? It's like something out of the dark ages. You'll need to pay the visa application fee, of course. Think of it as a small investment in your fabulous future in the UK. You'll also need to pay the healthcare surcharge, unless you're exempt because even doctors need doctors, right? And finally, you'll need to submit all the necessary documents. You know, the drill passport, certificate of sponsorship, proof of English proficiency, proof of sufficient funds. It's a bit like packing for a holiday, really, except instead of swimwear and sunscreen, you're packing paperwork and proof of identity. Now, let's talk about how long you can actually stay in the UK with this visa. The good news is it's typically granted for up to 5 years, depending on your job contract. That's longer than some Hollywood marriages. Of course, if you're offered a shorter contract, your visa will reflect that. But hey, look on the bright side. It just means you might have the chance to reapply and go through this whole delightful process again. Lucky you. But seriously, 5 years is a good long time. It's enough time to find your feet, find a flat, find a decent cup of tea, and trust me, that can be tricky in some parts of London, and really settle into life in the UK. Chapter 4. Work and travel, flexibility, freedom to roam and treat patients. Now let's talk about the fun stuff, what you can actually do with this visa. First and foremost, you can work in the job listed on your visa. That's the whole point after all. But here's the cherry on top. You can also bring your dependents under certain conditions. That's right. Your other half, your little cherubs, even the family dog, quarantine permitting of course, can join you in your British adventure, and it gets better. You can travel in and out of the UK as long as your visa is valid. Think of it as your license to pop over to Paris for a cheeky weekend or jet off to Spain for a spot of sunshine. Just remember to come back, yeah? The NHS needs you. Eads. Chapter 5. Settlement, putting down roots and maybe growing a vegetable patch. Now, let's fast forward a bit, shall we? You've been living the dream in the UK for 5 years, you've mastered the art of making a proper cuppa, and you've even developed a fondness for Marmite. What's next? Well, my friend, after 5 years of holding a health and care worker visa, you may be eligible to apply for indefinite leave to remain, ILR. It's a bit of a mouthful, I know, but it basically means you can stay in the UK permanently. Cue the celebratory fireworks. This is a biggie, folks. It means you can live, work, and even stand in the ridiculously long queue at the post office without worrying about your visa expiring. It's practically a passport to Britishness. Chapter 6. Key benefits. The perks of being a healthcare hero. Now, let's talk about the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, the little sprinkle of fairy dust that makes this visa extra special. As a healthcare worker, you get a few lovely benefits. First of all, you benefit from lower visa fees. That's right, you get a discount just for being amazing. And wait, there's more. You're also exempt from the immigration health surcharge. That's right, free healthcare for the healthcare heroes. It's only fair, really. And finally, you get fast-track processing in some cases. Because when you're saving lives, nobody wants to keep you waiting in a queue. Outro ta-ra for now. Good luck with your visa journey. Well, my dears, that's all we have time for today. I hope you found this guide helpful and maybe even a little bit entertaining. Remember, applying for a visa can be a bit of a marathon, not a sprint, so be patient, be prepared, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check the UK government's official website or consult with an immigration lawyer for the latest information on visa requirements and application procedures specific to your situation. And most importantly, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more helpful guides. Until next time, my lovelies.